Hi, and welcome to our live training. My name is Matt Schell. I'm a trainer at Unity Technologies, and today we're going to be looking at adding gameplay interactions with PlayMaker. So I'm going to show you the demo project we've created first, and then I'll give you some more context about what we're going to learn. So here we have the completed version of the project. I'm going to enter play mode. And so we'll see we have this kind of first-person shooter Tron style game. Now we have this robot that's currently patrolling. And if we stand in its line of sight, it will see us and pursue us. And once it gets within range, it will explode and kill the player. Now we can also shoot the robot and cause it to explode. You see some nice little spark effects when it gets hit. I'm obviously terrible at shooting. So I was close there, so I still got killed, but that's fine. And we can evade the robot by using our kind of stealth camouflage here, which you can see has this cool refraction shader effect. And this is an effect we're going to learn how to create in our next live training session. We also have this turret which will scan and look for the player, and then when the player runs out of invisibility, it will shoot and kill them. And so we are going to be focused today on setting up the AI for the two enemies and the mechanic that allows the player to choose when to turn invisible. So this project is created using content from the Unity Plus Accelerator pack. And so in our first session, we took a look at Ultimate FPS, where we set up the shooting gameplay, taking damage, the explosions, and also the first-person character controller. In today's session, we're going to be looking at adding AI simple behavior, the patrolling and scanning and shooting behavior of our turret and our robot. And in our third session of the series in 2 weeks, we're going to be looking at Amplify Shader Editor, which is a graph-based shader editing tool that we can use to add unique visual effects to our games. So all three of these are assets that you get for free as part of the Unity Plus Accelerator pack when you sign up for Unity Plus. So kind of very quick overview of what Unity Plus is. It's a monthly subscription where you get the ability to control your splash screen. So you can have no splash screen, a made with Unity splash screen, a custom splash screen. You also get access to performance reporting, which allows you to collect error reports and crash reports from your game once it's out in the wild. You get a privileged access to Unity Analytics, to the live stream feature, which allows you to get up-to-the-minute analytics data from your game out in the wild. You get access to the priority queue on Cloud Build, which is our cloud-based build service, and that means you're going to get your builds of your game faster from Cloud Build. You also get a month's free access to the Unity courseware, which you can use to study for our certified developer exam, which you can get a certificate to show potential employers or clients that you know what you're doing within Unity. Additionally, much requested feature, you get access to the dark editor UI, which a lot of folks have asked for, and now we've decided to make available as part of Unity Plus. So last session, we took a look at Ultimate FPS. We set up our shooting and our character controller. This session, we're going to be looking at PlayMaker. So PlayMaker is a way that we can create interactivity in our games without writing text-based, for example, C# code, right? Instead, we can work in this kind of graph-based system and add interactivity without having to do text-based programming. PlayMaker is a really popular tool and has been used in large, well-known, shipped Unity games that you have played. So it's a tested solution, and there's also a nice community of people who use it. In 2 weeks, we're going to be looking at Amplify Shader Editor. Amplify Shader Editor is a graph-based shader editor similar to PlayMaker that allows us to create unique shaders, and add that kind of layer of visual polish to your game. So to sum it up, Unity Plus is $35 a month. You get the Accelerator Pack for free. And if you want to learn more, you can check out unity.com/accelerate. So let's switch over to our incomplete version of our game. And I'm just going to lay out the basic goals for our session today. So today, we're going to learn how to create a state machine for our invisibility mechanic that I'll show you in a moment. We're going to learn how to create patrolling and chasing behavior for our flyer enemy. And we're going to learn how to create rotating and shooting behavior for our turret enemy. So one of the kind of core concepts that we're going to be using here within PlayMaker is the idea of the finite state machine. So the graphs that we create in PlayMaker are actually finite state machines. So we can also create finite state machines through text-based programming, right? It's not tied to the visual scripting system, but it's a useful concept to understand more generally as we move into working with PlayMaker. So a finite state machine is an abstract machine that can be in exactly one of a finite number of states at any given time. The finite state machine can change from one state to another in response to some external inputs, and the change from one state to another is called a transition. A finite state machine is defined by a list of its states, its initial state, and the conditions for each transition. So if we look at the kind of core parts of PlayMaker, PlayMaker uses finite state machines to allow users to create interactive behavior in a visual scripting environment. And each graph contains a start node, which defines where the graph begins evaluation, states, which are the states that we're going to be in. We're going to be in one state at any given time. And like in the case of our AI, we're going to be either patrolling or chasing or exploding, and we can only be in one state at any given time. Actions are the behavior that's executed while in a state. So in PlayMaker, we would have, for example, a check if the player is in front of you using a raycast action, right? And we would do that while we're in the patrol state. Events are conditions to trigger a transition to a new state. And transitions are connections from one state to another. So this is kind of our big picture overview, our concepts. And so what we're going to do next is we're going to switch into our incomplete version of the project, and we're going to create our first mechanic, which is going to be our invisibility mechanic.